This is BS. This is BS. Why are we here? I am going to call corporate.
Who the hell gave this guy a video camera? Welcome, I guess, into another edition of BSing with Big Nate. Good luck.
Isn't much to say to follow on. I wish I could have saved you from the spawn. The days are rather cold and rather long. I still can't even process that you're gone. And I've been thinking about this over time. I never thought that it would come to life. Put your wings together, I would make them big, 'cause you deserve to fly. Eternity begins without your life. My life begins to fold, my life's a lie. And I've been thinking about this over time. I never thought that it would come to life. The hardest part is knowing I can't turn back time. The spirit of the chosen turns to light. Sit to the sky, see through your eyes. With the wings you're given to fly, you soar through the sky. Why did you die? Burdened by my heart from your demise. Said from the start I cannot reply. I just can't wait to see eye to eye. Where's your last great time? Out from your last great time. Won't out from your last great time.
That was Ventruss, Spirit of the Chosen, on another edition of BSing with Big Nate. Of course, I've had Ben on before, but this time's a little bit different because new single, new EP. Well, let's say new. It's been out for a little over a month now, but killer stuff. Very excited to have Ben on again. Thank you for joining me. First,
thank you, dude. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
So now that the EP is here, how do you feel?
Relieved. I mean, this EP was hard to make. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We went through a lot I went through a lot. The whole band went through a lot, and it was a struggle. You know, we put everything into it. We put every bit of pain and stress and just all of what we were going through into this record. And, you know, we were very happy with the outcome. And, you know, it's finally out. You know, we felt like it was never going to come out. We just never could really get everything aligned, you know, having to wait on, like, you know, and everybody that worked for us did a great job. You know, we had a few things, you know, in the art department, you know, we have to wait on and everything to get like a final release. And yeah, I'm happy with the way it came out. I'm super stoked that it's out, and I'm super stoked that people are digging it.
I feel, and this could just be me. I don't exactly know, but it was one of those things where, like, each time you guys would drop a new single, I was kind of like, man, I'm clamoring for more. Let's hurry this up. Did it feel like forever to you?
Yes, it did. You know, especially like having those songs that we were releasing for a while, you know, like Talladega, we had mixed and mastered and everything for at least a good 9 to 10 months. We shot the video, and we were in the process of getting, you know, doing the MVK deal. So we were kind of like holding off on everything. We had the MVK deal coming. We were going through the paperwork and all that, signing that. And then right after that, my dad passed away. And that kind of like put a huge, which I mean, we'll talk about with Spirit of the Chosen a little bit, but that put a huge damper on everything, kind of slowed things down. And once things picked back up, though, it was just like, it was game time. You know, it was absolute game time. And putting Talladega out after waiting so long to do so, and it being so new for us, like it was a new thing for us. And we were really, really excited for people to see that, and really excited for people to see that side of us and what was to come. And it was a great teaser of what was to come, in my opinion. You know, like then after that, we dropped Sentiment, which was way different than Talladega, and then Serpent, which is way different than the other ones. And that's what I love about each song on this EP. They're all so vastly different, so vastly from different directions. That's like literally what I strive for as an artist, is just making things like, it's just going in different directions at each approach, each song, just going in like going at each song at a completely different approach, completely different mindset. And we did that with this EP, and I could not be more excited about it.
So until Spirit of the Chosen was released, Serpent was actually my favorite off of the EP.
Yeah.
But once I heard Spirit of the Chosen, I don't know, like I can't pinpoint it. It's one of those weird things for me where I can never pinpoint why. Like it's just a gut feeling. But Spirit of the Chosen just feels like there's like that opening build, and I mean, your vocals on it are just so powerful that I think that that's going to have to be my dark horse candidate. That is my favorite track off the EP. So I do definitely want to talk about it. Like I said, Serpent was a powerhouse, but Spirit of the Chosen kind of hits me right here. So what's the background on that track?
Spirit of the Chosen, man. So I wrote the song about the moment I found out my dad passed away. And not only the moment I found out my dad passed away, just kind of like the thoughts that were running through my head during that. You know, like I had this talk with my dad when I was like 12 years old. I do not remember what the talk was, but it was a really, really good talk. And I remember just thinking how lost I would be if he were to pass away. You know, like I couldn't imagine one of my friends' grandfathers had passed away. And I was thinking about like his father, because that was his father's father, and just what he was going through. Like how can, you know, like I couldn't imagine losing my father, you know, and it ended up happening way sooner than I could ever imagine at age 25, you know. So, and not only it was just like the thoughts, the questions, I mean, obviously the sadness and the confusion as to why it's happening. And not only that, like the meaning of the song is that, but I actually wrote lyrically, vocally, all of that. More so vocally. Lyrically was coming from my heart, but vocally and like writing the melodies and everything, I wrote all that to my dad's taste, because my dad, that like the way I sang in that song was the way my dad liked me. Like that was his, as he put it, that was what I did best. So I really, really like took that and wrote it for him, not only about him, but wrote it for him. And I really think if he could hear it, that he would love it. And he would tell me like, you know, like that my voice sounded great on it or anything. Like I wrote it for him, not only about him, but for him.
Yeah. So I think that's the heaviest we've gotten on BS with Big Nate, but it is one of those things, that power and that emotion is definitely there. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that, you know, you're afforded this ability, this talent, and you're willing to put in the work and make it happen. It is one of those things to me. You kind of brought it up. Is that something I've thought about? I've been lucky. I've been blessed to not have to suffer too great of a loss like that. But it is something that like I often ponder, is exactly what you said is the questions you'd have, because your whole worldview is just completely shifted because that person is gone. And I think Spirit of the Chosen is kind of a great track to relate to with stuff like that. Wow. You're gonna make me tear up a little bit here. So I feel like that's kind of a running theme throughout the EP is there's a lot of catharsis. There's a lot that it feels like you're kind of getting out. Do you feel like that works better than therapy?
Uh, in a way, yeah, and like the thing is, like therapy, obviously, I think therapy works great. I see a therapist every 2 weeks. It took me a while to go to one after the fact, but therapy, you go, you let out your emotions, they hear, that's great. Whenever you write a song, you can listen back to it and like damn, especially like as time goes on, and you could listen to that like, damn, that's really where I was at this time. Like that's what I was going through. And it's like, especially like our older music, like our self-titled EP, I can listen to that and be like, damn, like I don't feel that way at all anymore. But that was what I was feeling at this time. And who knows what I'll be feeling. I mean, obviously getting over the loss of my dad is not going to be easy. And, especially the way it happened and how quick it and sudden it happened. It's not going to be something that I'm just going to be able to get over. But I will say that like years down the line, maybe I'll have a little bit more figured out on it, or maybe I'll be able, because like when I wrote it, like I was completely lost, and I'm still not completely there, but I've definitely have found some sort of guidance, and I've done like I've even changed like the way I live my life, and just the way I treat myself more so. Like I treat myself a lot healthier. I think a lot better. I have gotten this like extremely strong work ethic for things that I've wanted to do for so long that I let a lot of bullshit, immature shit just get in the way of, and I'm very proud to say that song and that moment, even though tragic, really helped me to make a lot of life changes. And for that, I'll be thankful. And for that, I'll just live in his honor. But yes, catharsis, it's incredible. I mean, the fact that I'm more than blessed to have this outlet at all, and every musician will tell you that. I mean, it's a great outlet. Not everyone has it. And that's something I have to tell myself, like, not everyone can do this. Not everyone has this. And I'm very thankful to have this. I mean, yes, I let certain things build up. Sometimes I get scared to write about certain things, because I don't want my family to think I'm absolutely crazy, like it's like I get kind of worried about that, and but I used to get worried about that. Now I've kind of, let that go. And each song is about something completely different. Talladega is about insecurities that I have that, I may not feel like I'm good enough for certain things. And then Sentiment was about a friend's suicide. Serpent was about, really about my dad's wife and, what she put.
You've definitely revealed that one before.
Oh yeah. We did that on the last one. Relinquish was kind of the state of the world. Like at the time, because it was 2020, and then Spirit of the Chosen is about my father, and getting all of that out on this EP was wonderful.
You brought up something incredible there, and it's something that I've never even considered, because what I do, I can't sing for shit, and I've got zero musicality in my repertoire. I know what I like and I listen to what I like, but I do write a lot of notes to myself, kind of not necessarily journaling, because I can't call it that, because for the most part it's just notes on my phone, just things that are thinking running through my brain, keeping me up at night. Right. And I never even thought, like, sometimes I will go back and like look at them, I got to clear up space on my phone. Oh, well, I don't need that anymore because I don't really feel that way anymore. And it's kind of cool to have that time capsule and then like look at how far you've come and grown from all that. I also really love that, like, you have like a pinpoint, kind of like a breakdown of what each song is about. So it's just like that perfect outlet. Like these are journal entries for you. And I've never really considered, I mean, I knew for you, a lot of it was, the catharsis, getting things out and having that point, but I never really considered the, kind of going back and looking at it. That's pretty wild.
It is. It's a time capsule, music, YouTube, especially. I was thinking, I talked about something. YouTube is like the closest thing that like we have to a time machine, just to look at anything, but yeah, like a time, like your music per se, and fans listen to music and they go listen to your old stuff. And maybe they don't really think that way, but like listening to that as yourself as an artist, I don't know if any other artist thinks about that, but that's how I started thinking of it. Even our first EP, I was 19 and, I wasn't really good at putting exactly what I was going through. And then plus I had kind of outside sources within the band, not really allowing me to do a lot. I was the young kid in the band and, we had a guy that wouldn't really allow me to express myself the way I wanted to. It had to be his way. And I couldn't really get what I wanted to get out. I had to write about kind of like the childish parts of my life. And it was really weird, but still at that point, hey, that still even knows where I was then, as a whole, as far as like control and as far as freedom and all that. Like, I'm like, whoa, okay. Now I was there then. Now I write whatever I want and no one tells me anything, and that's like one thing I also love about the band. It's like nobody ever steps on my toes about lyrics anymore. Nobody, they know what I'm going to write. And whenever I write lyrics, it has to come out. Like, I don't just sit and just jot things, sometimes I kind of try to at least like start like with an idea, but the juices will flow at any given time. And like, I think I think I can remember exactly where I was when I wrote each song. I know Talladega, I was in my apartment, just juices flew. Sentiment, same thing. Serpent, same thing. Maybe I don't remember exactly where I was, but I just know that like it just hit me and I had to write.
So another thing, like I see, a lot of bands do it, and there's no right or wrong answer, but you hit a point where you look back on stuff. Is there anything that you would redo, remix, remaster, or kind of with that first EP, do you feel like that's locked, that's what it was, it needs to stay that way?
There is one song that I would like to redo and like just re-record, which is called Fly Tonight. And maybe Come Alive, the title track, just because like it was, we had no idea what we were doing. Our producer and engineer did wonderful. We had no clue what we were doing. And there was like very little to no communication in the band at the time. And, we would get the tracks back. I would send it to everybody and no one would say anything. And we ended up scheduling the release of it. It came out, everybody blew up the band. The band was way different back then. But Fly Tonight, I would like to redo. But as far as the rest of the songs, they're there. They were there. It shows growth to me. It's like those songs were so, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say immature is not really right. It was very beginner for us. Like, it was us at like 17, 19 years old writing these songs. And, that was what we came out with then. We don't really play much of those songs live anymore, but I still think of that EP as a huge part of my life. That was the first CD I ever put out in my life. And we had a big CD release party, things were looking good at the time. And we had a really decent underground following, like for just having that out, and yeah, I wouldn't change other than I would want to re-record Fly Tonight and release it as a single or maybe put it on a future album because I just thought that song had a lot of potential. But as far as it all, I wouldn't rewrite any of it. I wouldn't rewrite it. I would just re-record it. I wouldn't put a pen to pad on anything on that. That was there. That was where I was when I was 19. Like a time capsule. No reason to change it if it ain't broken.
No, and it's something else that's just that. How old were you when Come Alive came out?
I was 19 when I recorded it, 20 when it came out.
Yeah, and that's just absolutely insane to me. Like, that's another thought process I've never even entered. Is this is something that's going to be around forever. So, like, right. I feel like to me that would be such a mental block. Is the putting it out and setting a release date. Like, I feel like right now, of course, you talked about you would re-record. That would be me. Like, it would be delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And I would never put it out because I would sit there just trying to like over perfect it. And I think that's what happened with GNR's Chinese Democracy. Mm-hmm. It took so long. The buildup was so long. And ultimately we got a crappy GNR album.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, there is something to be said about, just kind of pushing it out there, getting it in the world. And I think, in my opinion, it's a time capsule. I don't know that I would necessarily change it at all. That's kind of what I was driving at there. But the new EP, absolutely fantastic. The Serpent. And if you haven't checked it out yet, Spotify, I'm pretty sure it's probably on Deezer, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, it should be on everything.
Any streaming service you can pick it up, and definitely give Ventruss some love.
Any streaming and purchase if you wish. I know people don't buy music anymore, so I'm not forcing anybody, but you can still stream it.
That's a good point. And I always hate doing that, but like mentioning the streaming, but I feel like that's what everyone wants to promote. That is a good point. People do still buy music, and you absolutely should, because if we lose hard copy, the internet could go down one day.
Exactly. The internet could go down one day, which we don't have any hard copies of it yet. You can purchase it digitally. Hard copy release, and we're going to have
So what you do is you purchase it, you download it, and then you burn it to a CD, and then you've got hard copy. If you want to get real retro with it, you could probably burn it to a CD and then record it to cassette. Ben, thank you so very much for joining me. I always love having you on and having these chats with you. I feel like we got real introspective on this one. So
yes, I agree.
You. I do want to ask, what's on the horizon? What's next?
Well, we got a few shows coming up, a few local Louisiana shows. We have playing a festival in Vegas, Apocalypse in the Desert, in March of next year. What else do we have coming up on the horizon? We're just going to play some shows and get out there, put the EP out, let people know what's going on with it. And, just keep doing what we're doing. Look for content for us on TikTok and whatnot. We're going to start getting involved into that world. And anything else that we can say? Just listen to it. Enjoy it.
Definitely listen to it. It's
listen to it, enjoy it, and thank
good
you.
EP. It's not gonna eat that much into your time, and it's well worth the time you're gonna spend listening to it. I've given it plenty of spins.
Yes,
so,
thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.
Worthwhile.
Always a pleasure, Big Nate, dude. Thank you so much for having me, and can't wait to do this again.